started, the barriers that you came up through and had to fight your way through, I could say that probably having read and seen things, I would just go, oh, you must have had a lot of racism dumped on you and fought through. But I think that's really simple. Can you give us specific examples of a few of the barriers that you had to go through?
That's a problem for me because I didn't see any barriers. I just didn't. I went from one thing to another. Margaret Avery had a wonderful workshop called the Zodiac Theater. Mm-hmm. I went over there and I did work. It was about working. Mm-hmm. And you keep moving and you keep the faith and you keep moving and putting out what you want. I used to look at the TV and say, I want to do that show. Thank you. I would be talking to God. I said, I want to do that show. Thank you. And I'd look, and ER called me, and then a Cold Case called me. Those were two of the shows I was watching. And somehow you get along and you forget that. You forget what was working for you. So now I was talking to a lady who's a clairvoyant, and she said, you have guardian angels, but you have to give them something to do. They're with you all the time. So I said, oh, this is like new information. So I said, okay, I want to work. They said, well, act like it, because you can't decide what, when, and where. That's not your job. Your job is to keep the faith and keep moving. You know, we think that other people are in charge. But they say, you got to know somebody. Well, do you know God?
But something that Marla's bringing up on her history and her journey that I want all these actors in the room to really remember is that she went from workshop to workshop, workshopping her craft. And, you know, there's a whole lot of love up here on the stage. I mean, I've worked with Don, I've worked with Taraji. People don't know that I started at a place that Marla set up off of Degnan. She set up an acting studio in the 90s. And, you know, when I was putting together my first film coming out of USC, I took an acting class there, you know what I mean? And I did that while I was working on pre-production for Boys in the Hood. If you don't go and take an acting class, you can form your own collectives. You know, I met this young lady in a collective that Bill Duke put together for young actors. You know what I mean? And, you know, it was between a year of me meeting her and then her working on Baby Boy. So it's like, it works. You know, you can put that together. There was an organization in the late 60s, early 70s called the Negro Ensemble Company in New York City, right? How many people know the Negro Ensemble Company? So many people, so many great people from Adolph Caesar to Sam Jackson to, you know, what's the name? Mary Alice. You know, all these great actors came out of Negro Ensemble Company. You know, Denzel Washington. And what I don't see in this generation is really, and I'll just keep it since it's mostly black people. There's more black people I've seen in this room since Obama got elected in LA. But what I don't see amongst this generation that I want, is for you guys to galvanize yourself to make your own collectives, artistic collectives, not just as actors, you know, but as writers, you know what I mean, as
storytellers,
as storytellers. Yeah. And when you do that and you bounce ideas off of each other and everything, things happen, you know. And this panel up here is a great example of that, because it's like everyone, you know, I see, you know, so fun. I feel like almost like Kevin Bacon, because there's a juncture for me, everyone here up on this panel, and it goes all the way back to that creative collective and creating something and then working off of each other.
What she says, what John's saying, what keeps coming back, and something you mentioned too, Wayne, is when people, you know, often come up and say, well, what can I do? How can I be in this business? I want to work. I want to be an actor. And I often say, what are you doing now? Mm-hmm. You know, are you pursuing it in any other way other than I want to be famous? That's usually what I say. When they say I want to be an actor, I say, do you want to be famous or do you want to be an actor?
Right.
Because there's many places to act that won't necessarily get you fame, but they will get you to become a better actor.
Right.
And you have to you have to work this so that when the opportunity arises,
You're
are head
ready.
and shoulders above those people that just want to be famous and don't necessarily have anything behind them. So I encourage people all the time. The biggest thing that you can do now, because with the advent of technology, there's so many ways to get your stories out there, I think, is to be a writer. That's the most powerful. That's, you know, I think it's about survival anymore. You know what I mean? It's like you need to be a hyphenate. You have to be multifaceted in this business. And I encourage all of my friends who are acting and trying to get it going to write your stories down, to work with writing groups, to really work that muscle, because you have the opportunity. I write all the time in the films that I'm doing. You know, I get cast in the movie, and I'm always writing on the movie, on the TV show. It's a skill that you continue to flex. So I think that's one way to kind of have survival in this business. And go buy a $800 camera and make a movie. There is no impediment anymore to making a movie and getting your story out. You can do it. You can do it.
So the thing that keeps getting hit is do it. Don't talk about it. Oh, well, see.
Oh, that was church right there. That was church. Do it again, man.
Wow.
I always tease now when we go places. I say, bring a child up in the way they should go, and when they get grown, they'll hire you. My daughter's a writer, and she did a short film, and she's put me in it.
There you go.
And we won a lot of awards with it.
Nice.
And now she's writing a full-length feature, and I have a part in it.
That's right.
You know, you can't doubt yourself. She's a director now. She always wanted to direct, and I say, do it all.
That's right.
You know, act, write, direct, do it all.
Be a story
You don't
teller.
just say, I want to be here, I don't want to do that, because that may lead to this, and this may lead to that, you know. And I tell people all the time, you want to act, get in a workshop. Some of them will let you sit and check the workshop out, audit it, and get on the stage so people can see what you do. You know, they can't just let you come in and take a chance on you could do it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be doing anything else but opening the door and letting people come in and looking at them, you know. They don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So you have to be ready, and maybe they can see you do something. Now you've got your craft going.
That's right.
And it makes a difference. You got to be doing something. Move. With your feet.
It's so easy right now to get caught up in the, this is awesome, to go out and do it. But the reality is, you did have low moments.
Still do.
Tuesday wasn't a good day. Tuesday was a bad day.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
I don't know what my next job is right now.